This is a record number 5 jack plane. This is what you're after. Lovely, easy shavings, nice and fine, see-through basically, cut in beautifully. This is how you set a plane up to cut like that. So first of all, we're going to go through all the parts. This is a record number 5 jack plane, cast iron body. The base of it is called the sole, the front is the toe, the rear is the heel, the bit where the blade sits is called the mouth. It comes apart like this. I never like to put the flat side of a plane down, because if the blade's nice and sharp, then obviously that edge would be touching the bench or whatever you lay it on, and sharp edges are very fine, so you don't want to be blunting them that easily. Here, this is called the cap iron or the lever cap. That can be undone like so. Then you've got your blade assembly. So that's your plain iron or blade, and this is the back iron, sometimes these days called a chip breaker. These things come apart. I'm a bit old school. I tend to use the cap iron itself as a screwdriver just to loosen off that screw and take the two things apart. Now the blades should be nice and sharp, and this one is. So I'm not going to go through the rigmarole of grinding and sharpening a blade. That's for another video, but I will show you how it all goes together. You spin that round. The back iron should be presented up close to the back edge of the blade, so that gives that chip breaker a chance to do its job, which is basically to curl over all those shavings as the blade touches the wood. Okay, so just make sure that's nice and tight. Now we can start looking at the plane itself and the adjustment. This part here, this bit, this is called the frog. Now what that is, it's a cast iron piece that is screwed down onto the bed of the plane, and it presents the blade at 45 degrees to the workpiece. Usually it's 45 degrees anyway. This screw here is what allows to adjust the tightness of the blade assembly and the lever cap when you put that back on. This knob at the back here is your depth adjustment knob, and as you can see, as you screw that out, it levers that backwards and forwards. I'll show you that works in a second. This is your lateral adjustment screw. Now quite simply, that cam there fits into the back of this slot like so, to allow you to move it from side to side like so. Okay, let's put it back together, and I'll show you how to set this thing up. This should be just nice and tight. If you have it too loose, let's have it too loose, right, then you can literally grab hold of everything and move it around. No good. So I'll just tighten it up a little bit more, and it should be nice and touch more than that. Nice, and just clamp everything together so that once you've set it, it's set. So now we can sort out what these things do. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pull the blade. Now what I'll do is I'll push the blade out. To push the blade out, we'll use the adjustment knob. Now then, there's a lot of slack in this, so I'm going to move it out towards the handle. Screw it out towards the handle. As soon as you feel it come up against some resistance, that's when it actually starts moving the blade. Okay, so that's now sticking out quite a long way below the bed. I'll show you why. I want to be able to see, let's see if I can do this behind the camera, the blade sticking out like so. Now then, if I can make this so you can see it, here we have got our lateral adjustment lever. If I push it all the way over there, as you can see now, the left hand side of the blade, as you look at it, is sticking out. Lift it up, push this all the way the opposite way, and now, as you can see, the right hand side of the blade is sticking out. So this allows me to just level it up so that it's absolutely spot on and it's nice and even in relation to the bottom of the plane. Okay, next thing, I'm now going to, using my depth adjustment knob, I'm going to screw it in away from the handle at the back. Again, loads of slack, that's not doing a thing. Right, and as soon as you start getting that pressure, that's when, and if you can see that, the blade is actually moving. That's when it all starts moving. So now, it sits below the body of the plane, and I'm quite safe to put that there without damaging my blade. Right, now we'll go to our scrap piece of wood. Now some people, the guy who taught me how to set planes up for a start, he used to like to just adjust it so you could just see the blade starting to come out. Me, I like to be able to feel these things. So once it's nearly there, nearly cut in, nearly at the bottom, you just move like a quarter of a turn at a time. The tiniest bit, that's just beginning to get hold. So now tiny fractions, eighth of a turn. Now eighth of a turn at most. Now if you want fine shavings, right, that's pretty much there because it is taking off, look at that, the tiniest of shavings, see-through. Okay, so that's how you can set up your plane. You check it, you check that it's level, you check that it's sat on the bed as you want it, and you're taking off the thickness of the shaving that you want. Beautiful. You can just, again, you want to take a little tiny bit more off, just a fraction, and there you go. Just the job.